The excavation site on Kepler 442b had been active for 3 standard cycles, and the Galactic Archaeological Council was no closer to understanding the mysterious ruins than when they'd first broken ground. Dr. Zwaxthor, the council's lead archaeologist, stood before the massive stone tablet, his 4 optical stalks swiveling in frustrated confusion. These symbols, he announced to the assembled team of xenologists, linguists, and historians from across the galaxy, appear to follow no known pattern. We've run them through every linguistic database spanning 10,000 civilizations, and nothing matches. The tablet was enormous, 30 feet tall and carved from a single piece of obsidian-like material. The symbols were precise, methodical, arranged in perfect rows. They seemed almost familiar, yet completely alien at the same time. Lieutenant Marcus Webb, the sole human representative assigned to the expedition, had been watching from the back of the chamber. He'd spent most of his time cataloging artifacts and staying out of the way. Humans were newcomers to the Galactic Council, having achieved faster-than-light travel only 50 years prior. Most species still viewed them as primitive curiosities, clever with their hands but lacking the intellectual sophistication of the elder races. Marcus squinted at the tablet, then took a few steps closer. Something was nagging at him. Dr. Zwaxthor, he called out, his voice echoing through the ancient chamber. May I take a look? The Vexillian archaeologist's bioluminescent patterns flickered with what Marcus had learned was polite condescension. Of course, Lieutenant. Though I doubt. It's the alphabet, Marcus interrupted, walking right up to the tablet. Backwards. The chamber fell silent. Every species-specific sensory organ turned toward the human. I beg your pardon. Dr. Zwaxthor's translator rendered his tone as deeply skeptical. Marcus pointed at the symbols. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. It's the Latin alphabet, just written in reverse order. C. He traced the letters with his finger. This entire tablet is in English. Old English, actually. Probably from Earth's 21st or 22nd century, judging by the phrasing. Dr. Zwaxthor's optical stalks bent toward the tablet with renewed intensity. Impossible. This site has been dated to approximately 12,000 years ago. Your species hadn't even achieved spaceflight then. That's what makes this so weird, Marcus agreed, pulling out his data pad. But I can read it. Here, this section says, we came seeking refuge from a dying world. Let those who find these words know that humanity reached for the stars not out of conquest, but survival. The other archaeologists began murmuring, clicking, whistling, and humming in their various languages. Dr. Tlara, a crystalline being from Andromeda, floated closer to examine Marcus's translation. Continue, she urged, her voice like wind chimes. Marcus ran his hand along the tablet, reading aloud. We established this colony on the far edge of known space, hoping to preserve something of Earth's legacy. The solar flares had begun. Our sun was dying faster than anyone predicted. 7 colony ships launched in 2157. We were the only one that made it this far. The implications hit the room like a shockwave. Professor Aldine, a towering Corthian with 6 arms, spoke first. You're suggesting humans had interstellar capability 12 millennia ago? That you were spacefaring before the Vexil Empire, before even the crystalline Concordat? I'm not suggesting anything, Marcus replied, still reading. I'm just telling you what this says. Look here, we numbered 5,000 souls when we landed. We built our city in the valleys, raised our children under alien stars, and tried to remember Earth. But we were alone, so terribly alone. And eventually, we forgot why we'd come at all. Dr. Zwaxthor was frantically scanning the tablet with every instrument at his disposal. The dating is correct. The site is definitely 12,000 years old. But this contradicts everything we know about human development. Does it? Marcus asked, continuing to translate. This last section is interesting. To whoever reads this, we came from a yellow sun, third planet, water world. Our coordinates have been lost to time, and our children's children have forgotten Earth's location. If you find this message and you find Earth, tell them, humanity's first voyage to the stars was not a triumph. It was an evacuation. We were refugees, not explorers. But we survived. We always survive. The chamber erupted in excited discussion. Species from across the galaxy were suddenly re-evaluating everything they thought they knew about human history, and galactic history itself. Marcus stepped back from the tablet, a strange feeling settling over him. You know what the weirdest part is? We have no record of this on Earth. No legends, no myths, no archaeological evidence of a solar crisis in 2157. Our recorded history shows steady progression, industrial revolution, information age, space age, FTL discovery. Nothing catastrophic. Perhaps, Dr. Clara suggested softly, because these colonists never found their way home. They survived here, evolved separately, and eventually died out. Meanwhile, Earth's crisis passed, or never happened, or was averted somehow. Two branches of humanity, separated by time and space. Or, Professor Aldine rumbled, human history is far older and stranger than anyone suspected. Perhaps your people have risen and fallen multiple times across the eons. Marcus looked around the chamber, at the tools, the pottery, the remnants of lives lived 12,000 years ago. Human lives. There's more to translate, he said quietly. Weeks of work, probably. Journals, records, maybe even information about what happened to them. Dr. Zyxthor's bioluminescence pulsed with what Marcus now recognized as genuine excitement rather than condescension. Then we have work to do, Lieutenant Webb. It seems your primitive species has just rewritten galactic history. Marcus smiled. We have a saying on Earth, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Looks like that applies to our own past, too. As the team began cataloging the site with renewed purpose, Marcus couldn't shake one thought: if humans had reached the stars 12,000 years ago and fallen, only to rise again in the modern era, what else had they forgotten? And more importantly, what other mysteries were waiting in the dark spaces between stars, carved in backwards alphabets, waiting for someone to finally read them correctly? The answer, he suspected, would be very human indeed. They survived, they adapted, and they'd done it before. They'd do it again.